welcome back to the Kerbal Commander series. My name is Andy, and I will be your pilot, I guess. So today, I'm gonna try to get the first piece of my orbiting space station out there. I'm not 100% sure how this will work. I'm gonna try to challenge myself. One of the things that I wanted to try with this series is to really try to do things that I haven't done in this game before. I've done sort of a very small space station with very discrete pieces, but I'm going to try something a little bit bigger today. And if it's a huge failure, I hope at least it will be an entertaining failure. So I'm going to look at my tracking station real quick. I still have Kerbal 1 out there. It's still flying around. I've still got some space junk, which does not seem to be going away anytime soon, so maybe I just have to end this flight and it will go away. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to back out of here. Let's go right into the vehicle assembly building. Now, I had a pretty good ship that could get me into orbit pretty easily with fuel to spare. Kerbal 1, you remember. So now I want to turn this into more of like a space station-y sort of thing. So how do I do that? Well, I'm basically looking at this section right here, so let's take a shot and see what's going to happen here. I'm going to start the space station stuff kind of right here. There's a disconnector there, so I'll do that. And I'll move that up. I'm going to start with... And I will show you the pieces here, but I might cut this out, who knows. Connect that back. Alright, so I'm going to extend the pieces here and sort of push them way far out and see if that will work. So let me get into my structural section here. I was already there. Yeah, so I'm going to use this guy. I'm going to attach him here. And I'm going to use the big girder, like that. I don't know if this is the appropriate way to do this. I've never used these segments before, but they look cool. And I think it'll make a nice looking space station if I can get all of that put together. So I also want some Clampetrons on here. That's the junior. I don't want that one. Oops, no. That way. Nope, wrong way. I can't even tell which direction's pointing. There. These aren't heavy, are they? No, not too heavy. Okay, so that's that. Now, I still don't know if this is gonna get into atmosphere, so I'm gonna give myself a little bit of extra chances. So I'm gonna put... On this middle stage here, I'm gonna put some of these smaller solid fuel boosters, these little tiny ones. So we're gonna hope that those do the job. I really don't know if they will or not, but I'm gonna put maybe let's put 4 of them on there. Let's just keep 4 on all these things. Those get all right? Yeah, they did. And then we'll put, actually, which one of these is the lightest? I don't need a big heavy one. think... Oh, look out! There's a Kerbal walking around down there. I think I'm gonna go with this design to start with. I hope this works. Now, what I haven't done yet is the struts. If you're not familiar with the game, this little guy right here, under structural, the strut connector, is a godsend. He is the best thing that ever happened to you. And I think I picked up something else. No, that's the strut connector. I'm going to strut the hell out of this thing. I don't want any of this moving around in weird ways. Now, these do have mass, so they're not necessarily like free as far as weight goes, but you're better off having too many of them than not enough, because if you don't have enough, then bad things are going to happen. This thing's going to shake itself to pieces, and even if it doesn't break, every time it shakes to the left or right and has to try to correct itself, that's less energy that it's using to move straight up in the air, which is what you want it to be doing. So I use lots of extra struts. Now this part is very challenging because I don't really know the best way to strut this. So I'm going to try a lot of different struts here. So I'm going to use, let's use 2. Okay, see, that's the other problem. Sometimes the symmetry doesn't work with struts. Yeah, symmetry's not working here. So... I've got my rocket here. I've got my space station. The space station sort of starts here and goes out there. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 possible connectors on here, and I can sort of add to this as I see fit. This is my sort of control mechanism for the space station, so even if there's no pod there, no Kerbal there, I can always adjust this as needed. In fact, how heavy are those? I might want to pull that off. 0.25. Nah, it's not worth it. So I have no idea if this will work. So, no idea whatsoever. So let's go ahead. I'm going to save this again and launch, and let's see what happens. All right. Here we are on the launch pad. This is unmanned. I have a thing about I don't want to like needlessly murder Kerbals, so I generally go a little overboard in trying to save them. And this engine will overheat, so I need to keep my throttle down a little bit. But the boosters will fire at the same time, then the boosters will fall off, and see, this is the problem. That goes there. So that is the booster in those engines. When those boosters run out, they will fly off, and then this little section will fly off, and then that little section will fly off, and then I have this final stage to use there. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. Okay. Oh, whoa, ah! Okay. So that clearly did not work properly. Okay, where'd it break? Structural failure on linkage between LVT-45 liquid fuel engine and FLT-800 fuel tank. Oh, okay. I think I know what that means. Let me go back to the vehicle assembly building. I think using these 2 separate fuel tank types is what did it. Let's see, because I used... No, because I used that guy and that guy. That's these. Is it this? That's the FLT 800. And then there was like an LV something. Huh. Well, I'll tell you what, let me add a couple struts here, because I'm not exactly sure why that broke off. You know, there's bugs in this game too sometimes, so I'll tell you what, let me just turn on symmetry. Did that work at all? That did nothing resembling symmetry. There we go. Alright, so I think it was between these guys that broke, because it was LV something or other. Okay. Rocco and LV 909. It might have been this one. Alright, we'll try this one more time. And then if that doesn't work, then I'll do some more work trying to figure out what the heck's going on. Oh, you know what? I never put any wings on here either. That's probably not helping. Oh, damn it. I forgot to move the staging again because it broke. Okay. One more try here before I cut the camera and really try to make this work without you guys having to watch me fumble through it. SAS on. Ready and go. Okay, we're getting higher than we did previously. Alright, I think we're okay. It's a little shaky. You can see here that it's a little shaky, but it's not too bad. I think in general we're probably okay on that. Look at just the stage that I'm on for how much fuel I have. Solid fuel, I'm about to run out here in a little bit, but once that runs out, we'll turn over here. I do have a lot of stages here, so I'm hoping. I do not like how much that's shaking. That's making me nervous. Okay, those are out. Turn this over. Careful. Does turn over nicely, and turn the SAS back on. Alright, so when this tank runs out, we will break that off. About 13,000 meters, and we're out. Oh. Oh. Why did that not disconnect? Decouple, please. That is not helpful. Turn off the engines. Try to get this back into shape. Come on, come on! Turn the RCS. Oof, this is not going well, guys. I gotta say, I've taken some trips here on Kerbal, and this is not going well. Ah, but we are almost into a good orbit here, or at least an attempted orbit. So I'll get to about 125 and cut the engines. Whew! All right, so lots of bad things have happened so far, but hey, what's a Kerbal mission without a few explosions? So we'll go ahead and hopefully we can get this into an orbit. Let me turn off the stage only. I think I have enough fuel to really make this work. I'm going to use a maneuver here to kind of judge this a little bit. So 322. I want to be a little closer than my original satellite here. Maybe about 250. Where is that actually? That's 295. 213. 231. That's good enough. 231's good. That won't tax anything too much. So I'm going to turn that off. Now I'm going to have to burn for 1 minute and 48 seconds. I don't know if I have enough fuel to do that, actually. But we'll see. Let's look here. Well, I have almost 3/4 of a tank. That's good. Now, the other thing that you might be aware of is that you can transfer fuel from these other tanks into this one, which I could try, but I think what I'd be more likely to do is use this one, because if you do that improperly, you will sort of burn off. If you do this unevenly, these tanks will now be empty, or at least one of them will be empty, and then it will just spin because the whole thing will be unbalanced. Now I have to burn for 1 minute and 48 seconds, and I'm about 40 seconds away. So if I start burning at 1 minute 48 seconds when I'm at the apoapsis, bad things will happen. I will never make it, so I'm going to start burning now. Just going to go to the max here, and this will sort of drop down. I really don't know if I have enough fuel to do this. If not, I have that one little fuel tank there that's really not for this purpose. We're doing pretty good. Yeesh. Even though if I can get into any kind of orbit, I'll use my other fuel tanks to kind of extend that a little bit. So we're 4 seconds away from the apoapsis. I still got to burn for another minute. I'm not going to make it. Alright, so this is going to run out. I'm not going to release it, though. I'm going to turn off my engines, and I'm going to give this a shot. Transfer all of that in. I would rather have empty fuel tanks and a guy in space than no fuel tanks. Whenever I'm in orbit here, I can actually... Alright, now I gotta do this one too. What I can do is if I can make it into orbit without using up this whole tank, then I can actually just go for it. I can transfer the fuel from here back into these other tanks before I go. Now, this is going to be challenging because I'm already on the downward slope of my apoapsis. But if I run out of fuel and I don't get into orbit, then I'm just going to crash. And we'll have to redesign this rocket. Maybe one that doesn't explode as much. That would be good. I would prefer to not explode quite as much. So this is all the fuel I've got. If this runs out before I get into orbit, then I'm done. And in fact, if I don't have any fuel, even getting into this orbit, then I'm also done. Alright, so I can get into orbit here, but I'm not going to have enough to do anything of value, I don't think. Alright, so that's 223. That's 98. Okay, so you can go away. At this point, I need to add another maneuver. And I need to circularize this a little bit, so I would have to burn for 3 seconds. I think I can do that. As long as I've got my my monopropellant, which I have plenty of monopropellant up here, then this is technically a space station. It doesn't need to come back down. So then I can design other sort of smaller ships to get up here and maybe refuel it or do other stuff. So that is what we're gonna do. Yeah, I think I have just enough fuel to manage this. That's got to be enough for 3 seconds, right? That's got to be enough for 3 seconds of burn. I will have to get 76 meters per second faster, and I'm in a pretty good orbit. In fact, I might chance this a little bit and try to get this truly circular here. Okay, I still have to only burn for 3 seconds here, so... Alright, so that's 221, that's 224. It's a little bit more. 221, 224. 222, 224. That's close enough, I think. Okay, so I'm going to speed up time here a little bit. And zoom around. Okay, we're 7 minutes away from the node. 5, 4. Slow it down a little bit. Okay. Let's get into position. I should have done this earlier. Why didn't you guys tell me that I was screwing this up? Okay. Okay. All right. We're 17 seconds away. We got to burn for 4 seconds. No matter what, though, this is sort of in shape. Now, here's the issue. If I don't get this, I'm at 96,000. I don't know if that's high enough to actually stay up. You know, previously, burn, 3, 2, 1, done. All right, I've still got a very tiny amount of fuel left. So, I'm going to take... All right, so I'm in a good circular orbit here. 228, 223. That's pretty great considering several things exploded. I will take that. So what I need to do now is, I guess I can leave this on here, but I don't really need an engine that heavy on here. I guess theoretically I could have added a docking port here and just decoupled that instead of having a decoupler, but I guess that's a lesson learned. What I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer what fuel is left in here into this little fuel tank. I don't want to put it again in either one of those because then it will be off balance and it won't be any good. And notice I've got about 1/3 of that fuel tank left. Now, the engine that's right here is actually very, very small, so it actually won't use much fuel, so that has a chance to sort of last me a little bit, just to make kind of small adjustments. And then we're going to decouple that. And then this is the core of my space station. Okay? So let's turn on the lights. It's all lit up. And let's start extending the solar panels. Where are my solar panels? I can't see them in the dark. Let's see how these look. Oh, I put the wrong ones on there. I wanted the big, long ones. Oh, well. Lesson learned, pay more attention to which solar panels you're putting on, because I actually wanted them to look to be the big long ones. But, oh well. So I can look at my electric charge, and I have plenty of electric charge to power everything that's on here. I can leave the lights on all the time. My monopropellant is good. I've got plenty of that, and that's one of the easier things to bring up. Wow. That was kind of intense. Kerbal 2. The other thing I like about this is that I can, like, if I click on the actual little satellite thing, I can rename the vessel. So if I look at the map, this is called Kerbal 2, which is nice. That's a nice name. I like that name. But if I ever wanted to rename it, then I could do that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to point at that guy, and I'm going to hold down the H key a little bit just to get myself a little bit of distance from that guy. When you're in orbit, you'd be surprised how easily the monopropellant just gets you away from things. But there you go. That's the first piece of my space station. I'm going to be able to connect things on the ends here, so I could, you know, maybe I want to bring up another one of these pieces, maybe redesign this a little bit, put some crew quarters on the ends here, or along here, or along here. Now I didn't design this so that I could put more stuff on either of these ends, but I'm okay with that right now because I've got plenty of room to grow. But yeah. So I think that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. And let me know what you think in the comments. And next time, I think I'm going to bring try to bring a couple new pieces up here. So if you have suggestions for what new pieces to bring up here, please let me know in the comments, and I will take that into consideration. I definitely want more fuel. I definitely want ships to be able to swing by here and refuel. I definitely want some crew quarters up here. But other than that, I don't have a lot of really specific ideas about what to do with this. But that will be for next time. So thank you guys very much for watching.